What's Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Ricky. We reacted to 15 scariest things caught on GoPro camera. Shout out to Factopidia for the video. We ain't gonna waste your time. Let's get right into this bitch. Go check out Breakout Atmosphere out now on SoundCloud. Run that bitch up. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe if you want to see more videos.
In 2002, GoPro is the premier brand of action cameras, designed for recording action while you're caught up in it. But while they were originally designed mainly for the purpose of filming extreme sports such as base jumping and wingsuit flying, sometimes they catch creepy things they were never supposed to film. These are the scariest things caught on GoPro cameras. Number 15. Train. American professional baseball pitcher Brian Garcia and a group of his friends spent time in Los Angeles exploring parks and traveling along some train tracks, capturing footage along the way. One of the videos they captured shows them discovering a dark train tunnel that they decided to work their way through to the other side. Each end of the tunnel is quite some distance away from the other, so as they approach the midway point, the shadows close in and what is mostly visible are the small passages of light coming from each end. It gets oddly quiet as they continue through, the only sounds being that of their footsteps and the clunking of the camera as it bounces around in the camera operator's hands. Almost out of nowhere, the sound of a train can be heard in the distance, and pretty soon, its light becomes visible from behind them. Luckily for the group, they are almost at the end of the passage as they panic and sprint to the exit. The train soon follows, but they come away unscathed. The video has since received an outpouring of nasty comments and dislikes, as many understandably believe that Garcia and co. should have never entered the tunnel in the first place, claiming it to be a very stupid idea that could have resulted in serious harm or death. Was it a bold move or a stupid one? We'll let you decide. Before we go on, we have a cool challenge for y'all. It'll take about 5 seconds to complete. Let's make a deal. Just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 10 years of amazing luck and fortune. Try it. It actually works. Now it's time for the odd topic. A fishing trip is the perfect time to use a GoPro camera. That way you know your camera will be safe if it gets wet and is durable enough to survive should the boat journey get rocky. This photo here shows the moment a GoPro camera caught something the operator never expected in the middle of a fishing trip. Wielding the camera is Brent, brother of passionate angler Grant. As you can see, Grant's luck took a good turn when he caught a colossal fish. Planning to toss it back into the river, Grant wanted photographic evidence of his success. But just as Brent was taking the shot, a live grizzly bear erupted out of the water behind. Grant quickly tossed the fish back to the bear and got out of there ASAP. As always, comment down below with the hashtag OddTopic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. Let's move on to the next one. Number 14. Monkey. A short clip posted by Bexon Productions shows a cyclist filming on their GoPro camera. For the most part, it's just footage of a man cycling around some lovely scenery and a nicely laid out concrete path. Later, however, the cyclist crosses a bridge and something jumps into frame, causing him to swerve and correct his bike to avoid it. The cyclist is slightly taken aback, but pretty much continues on his merry way as he can't see anything behind him. After having a look at the footage, there is what appears to be a monkey-like creature jumping down in front of his bike. There was much speculation surrounding this video, however, as when the clip was slowed down, the animal definitely resembles the look of a monkey, but upon closer inspection, seems way bigger than an average monkey and also lacking a lot of body hair. This video has led many to believe that a new monkey hybrid is among us. Number 13. Escaping from shark. In what's a rather unnerving clip, a person filming on a GoPro camera, presumably a male, is making their way down into a reasonably large body of deep water. At this point, they have already made their way over the safety fence and are standing on a rock overseeing the landscape. The fence and unsafe nature of the rocks and general area seem to point to it being a restricted zone. Regardless, after a brief moment of looking around and surveying the area, the cameraman jumps into the water. The camera is struck by the water almost immediately, and it's hard to make out anything for a few seconds. We then see bubbles before he resurfaces. He looks up at where he jumped, and his friends are standing watching him. However, one of them is pointing to his left. It takes a moment to make it out, but the man is shouting, "Shark!" The camera operator dives back down while still filming and sees a large shark emerge from the distance, and it's coming right towards him. Even though he's underwater, you can hear his dread as he starts to scream and panic. The shark, however, seems only interested in
Here's to the ones who work smarter, not harder. Because the ones who make the most of their time are the
scaring him away, and it succeeds. He screams and swims rapidly towards the shore, having a mini struggle in the process. This video has also copped a bit of negativity online, as people claim that through the power of editing, 2 clips have been spliced together to make it look like the man was being attacked by a shark. Number 12. Man versus kangaroo. This video is straight up bizarre and a little uncomfortable upon initially viewing. The clip is very short, no more than 20 seconds. It begins with an adult kangaroo holding a man's dog tightly. The man, who is wearing a cap, is visibly quite angry with the animal and slowly starts to approach it in an attempt to retrieve the pup. He starts to run at it, and the kangaroo releases its grip pretty quickly and instantly begins to defend itself against the man. They both square up to each other, much like boxers do before a big contest. It's almost like something out of a movie, as the kangaroo starts hopping towards him with every intention of fighting him. The man angrily takes a swift swing at the animal, and it connects. The kangaroo stands for a moment, looking absolutely baffled by the punch, staring at the guy with a confused look on its face. The man turns and walks away quickly, probably expecting some sort of counterattack. However, the kangaroo isn't remotely interested, and it hops off soon after, with the dogs running around in the background. So many emotions felt in such a short period of time, it's crazy. Who were you hoping was gonna win, the man or the roo? Let us know. Number 11. Suspicious owl. Owls are birds that always divide the room. Some find them to be fairly harmless, some find them cute, while others think they are extremely unpredictable and ominous. There was a video posted by GoPro a little while back that would support the last one. The video in question isn't very lengthy and thus doesn't hold much content. At least that's what most people think anyway. The original footage was captured by Megan Lorenz, and all it shows is a group of owls behaving rather questionably on a lawn. Many people are under the belief that owls bring bad luck wherever they go, and that in general they are bad omens. It's safe to say that owls do have a slightly suspicious feel and look to them, almost as if they can never take their eyes off you. This video plays out with 2 owls reacting to the camera's placement, slowly approaching it and making strange movements with their heads. It's a little uncomfortable as they tilt their heads whilst never looking away. They are soon joined by a couple of other owls, and they continue this bizarre ritual. It was probably just a harmless meeting of the minds, with the GoPro being the real intruder. You can't blame our feathered friends for being a bit suspicious, can you? Number 10. Military shoot. GoPro cameras have certainly seen their fair share of bizarre and terrifying occurrences, from the paranormal to vicious animal attacks out in the wild. Some of the scariest things can happen when your future is in doubt. Just ask soldiers and Marines. They feel like that most days. This was the case for a small group of Marines out on the battlefield. One of them had a GoPro attached to their helmet. Suddenly, a bullet sound is heard, and one of the Marines appears to be struck by it as he steps back and screams. The group panics slightly and fall back to address the situation. As it turns out, the Marine luckily avoided certain death as the bullet was absorbed by his Kevlar helmet, but only just. Upon further inspection, they concluded he was shot by a sniper, and the bullet almost went all the way through the helmet. Luckily, he was fine, but he certainly wouldn't have been too keen on going back out after such a close brush with the man upstairs. When you watch the video back in slow motion, you can see the exact moment the bullet penetrates his helmet. It's quite jarring and a little surreal for the fair share of us that have only experienced war through cinema. Number 9. Mountain Pass Drift. GoPro released a video on their YouTube channel in January 2015. The clip only lasts about 90 seconds, but it shows Frederick Osbo tackling a mountain pass in Norway behind the wheel of his 800 horsepower 2JZ Speed Hunter's Toyota 86X. Now, technically, this kind of thing wouldn't be considered scary, as we've all seen rally driving and racing before. However, something feels very different here. The GoPro footage almost gives us a backseat view of what's in front of the driver, and it's quite unnerving to say the least. Not many of us get to compete to this scale, and for that reason, we drive our cars according to the road rules and speed limits. So watching someone zip around pretty tight corners at such a rapid pace is a little uncomfortable, as it feels like every twist and turn could result in a serious accident. To be honest, the whole thing feels like a bit of a roller coaster ride, and I, for one, am not a fan of those. Number 8. Backflip over 72-foot canyon. Very similar to that of Asbo's Mountain Pass video, but this one is so much worse as a spectator. This is yet another GoPro uploaded video that was posted on their channel in 2013. Its basic premise is a cyclist by the name of Kelly McGarry competing in the Red Bull Rampage. He is cycling down a canyon, and later on in the same video, he has a crack at completing a backflip over the 72-foot canyon. It's seriously uncomfortable viewing from the get-go, as you can tell how
This Honda gets worked on at a certified Honda service center. Your Honda should too. Schedule your service appointment today.
The Serta Arctic with its Reactech system has 15 times better cooling power, so you can sleep cool all night long.
We on the grind.
how steep the canyon is and how uneven its surroundings are, in which he builds more speed. The entirety of the clip is filmed on his helmet cam. This, matched with his heavy breathing over the dangerous obstacles, really makes it a difficult one to sit through. Though we know GoPro wouldn't make us watch a grueling injury, it's still a real stomach churner. In the end, he does complete the backflip, and from his perspective, it looks incredible. However, it leaves plenty of questions for us sitting at our computers watching. Why? Why would you want to attempt something like that? It's nuts, absolutely bonkers. I guess without these daredevils in our lives, we wouldn't have a lot of entertainment, now would we? Number 7. Ghost Prank. Paranormal videos being captured on camera nowadays is a pretty common occurrence. These are usually drawn from haunted and often dodgy locations such as older houses, buildings, and cemeteries. However, one employee at a supermarket in Scotland had arguably one of the worst experiences with a possible poltergeist. In the video, we can see the woman stacking shelves and organizing the items within each shelf. Randomly, she takes this massive tumble and drops all the bottles and items she is holding. She was luckily unharmed by this, but was definitely feeling a little sore after such a nasty fall. Upon closer inspection of the CCTV footage, you can see the woman was attempting to stand on a little step to the side in order to place some items on higher shelves. In a strange turn of events, the step is pulled slightly away from her, enough that she loses her balance and drops to the ground. Her fall definitely doesn't look staged, so there certainly could be something of the paranormal going down here. Or her coworker that seems to be showing little compassion might have had something to do with it. Who knows? Was it a clever prank or a ghostly visitor? Number 6. Stuck in a cave. Lost John's Cave is a rather mysterious and spooky cave system found in Leckfell, Lancashire, England. Within it are 3 vertical routes, making it a very popular spot for practicing the single rope technique. In 2018, a group of friends attempted to traverse the cave. Among them was 39-year-old Bob Johnson, who had 10 years of caving experience behind him. The video of the group caving takes a pretty grim and uncomfortable twist as the cave walls become tighter and more claustrophobic. Bob gets stuck in the underground rock, and to make matters worse, the water levels begin to rise in the cave due to a nearby stream filling. When his friends don't see that he's stuck, they continue to film him and laugh at him, although they soon realize how dire the situation is once Bob starts panicking and screaming for help. His friends insist he calm down and, slowly but surely, pull him out as the water starts to reach his shoulders. Bob is lucky to still be alive and definitely escaped certain death. The video has since gone on to spook many people and put them off caving forever. Bob, however, is still keen on caving, just not that particular one. He has never returned. Can't say I blame him. Number 5. Moose attack. In an unexpected turn of events, a man is attacked by a baby moose in a short scuffle. The guy has a GoPro mounted on his helmet as he is visibly untying what appears to be a moose calf. As he lets her go free, the moose turns around and charges at him very aggressively. The man screams and jokes around with it for a while, and there's a short scuffle with the moose kicking the man and the man trying to defend himself. Luckily, he wasn't harmed, and spends the rest of the clip calming the moose down in an attempt to release it out into the wild. None too keen to head away, the man throws a large stick at the calf. Not advisable under the circumstances, but the moon gets the message and heads off, putting as much distance between them as possible. Number 4. Air traveling. This is some fascinating body cam footage of a passenger sitting on a small aircraft moments before disaster. The person has a number of people sitting ahead of him as they look out the window to see the aircraft slowly dipping towards the ocean. Soon after, the plane's alarm sounds and they crash land straight into the water. The camera is still rolling as the passengers quickly equip life jackets and escape the plane that is beginning to flood at a quickening pace. This is a massively terrifying and life-threatening situation. However, you wouldn't know it at points because everyone on board the plane seems so calm and seems very familiar with the safety protocols to the point where they're safely outside in a matter of seconds. This is one of those rare videos we don't often see where something goes so horribly wrong, but somehow everyone is calm and nobody is harmed. Was this film staged? It seems unusual that every single passenger in a nose-diving plane wouldn't be all that worried about it, don't you think? Number 3. Hang gliding. A pretty nasty clip was posted in 2018 of a man attempting to go hang gliding in Switzerland. The scenery around looks absolutely incredible, and he and the pilot get ready to launch together on the glider. It quickly becomes a horror show, however, when the pilot realizes after takeoff that the man's safety harness wasn't attached to the glider. This forced the man to cling for his life by holding onto the glider tightly with his hands. The pilot is very aware of the severity of the situation and attempts a quick emergency landing. However, he loses control and the flight is extended for a lot longer. The video is absolutely terrifying after learning this fact, as you are literally watching a man cling for his life and all you can do is watch. In the end, the pair land in a patch of grass and it's a massive relief. The man was in pretty good spirits following the incident, despite the fact that he had seriously injured both his hands from holding on so tightly. I wonder if he'll ever attempt such a stunt again. This video draws so much anxiety from the viewer, even on a second or third watch. Trust me, it feels like it's never gonna end, and just knowing that he is one action away from death makes it even more uncomfortable to watch. Number 2. Car crash. This one's sort of like ripping off a band-aid. It happens, it's painful, but it's over quickly. The video is very short and for the first few seconds shows what seems to be a group of friends traveling together in an SUV. They seem rather friendly around each other and are chatting about their surroundings. Almost out of nowhere, a larger vehicle flies out and smacks into their car, causing them to spin slightly around. The airbags deploy and everyone is in absolute shock and awe. The driver checks on everyone and it seems like they're all okay. It's pretty crazy just how out of nowhere this one is. If you hadn't read the title and just randomly clicked on it, then this would have been an absolute shocker. This is yet another visual reminder of how dangerous the roads are out there, and even if you're being safe, others around you can still cause you grief. Number 1. Too fast. We've seen some insane GoPro footage on bicycles and motorcycles, all of which is death-defying and scary, but usually results in a stunt that works out. This occasion was, let's say, a little different. Matthew Murray, a motorcycle enthusiast, made headlines in 2017 when riding through the Santa Monica Mountains with a GoPro attached to the front of his bike. He hits a corner super rough and plunges 250 feet off a cliff and into a ravine. The GoPro footage shows that fortunately he hasn't landed badly in amongst huge rocks, but rather a selection of plants that have clearly softened his fall. An impressive video. Murray got out alive, but did suffer multiple injuries. It might be a while before he's out attempting stunts again. What did we ever do without the good old GoPro? How did we prove that we'd survived a death-defying stunt, a fight with a great white, or a flooding cave? People just had to take our word for it. Today